All right, folks, how you doing? So, as the title suggests, this video is about how to smash Bitcoin with this genius move. And I'm not going to tell you who came up with this genius move, but I will say it's pretty genius. And the reason I won't tell you who came up with it is mostly because um, I'm kind of curious to see if you can figure out who it is. Maybe I'll tell you in a later video. Because if credit is due, then believe me, I will give credit. But if I don't have to give the credit for some reason, well, I might hold on to it just for your benefit. So, what is this genius move that you can use to smash Bitcoin? And what does it even mean to smash Bitcoin? Well, what I mean by it, and I thought it was kind of evident, but what I mean by it is quite simply that you can amass a greater quantity of them. You can acquire more of them, collect more of them, put more of them in your holding bag with this genius move. You ready for it? You might be surprised by how logical it is, how simple it is, and it's not a DCA. It's not a DCA. What you do is you take, let's say you've got only $100 and you want more Bitcoin, and you know how to trade the VEPs. Well, you buy Litecoin for $65 or whatever the price is. You buy $100 worth of Litecoin, which will give you more, like 1.6 Litecoin. So that's already 1.6 leverage, if you will, without having to use the leverage slider bar in your exchange. And then you trade that Litecoin and you stack those gains. And because the percentage of gains will likely be higher than the percentage of gains you'll make on Bitcoin trades, at the end of the day, when you convert your stack of Litecoins into Bitcoins, you'll end up with more Bitcoins than you would have Litecoins. I mean, if you would have just bought Bitcoins directly or traded them. Also, because keep in mind, if you're trading $100 worth of Litecoins, again, like I said, you're going to have like 1.6x leverage, essentially, okay? Without having to use leverage. Meaning if the Litecoin goes up $1, yours will go up like $1.66 or whatever. Because you'll have 1.6 times the amount of gains. Okay? Your stack will go up $1.66. And if it goes down $1 and you're shorting, you gain $1.66 on the way down too. Okay? That's the idea of using a cheaper coin to stack more Satoshis without having to wait around for DCA. Now, of course, this requires that you know how to trade well. To do that, you just got to know how to trade with the VEPs, which, as you should know if you're watching my video, it is free to learn how to trade the VEPs. So you just go to alphatradinghq.com/Discord. And when you're at alphatradinghq.com/Discord, you just go to the request support channel, create a ticket, request your free access to the volatility starter pack, give us your TradingView username so we can hook you up with the indicators and all the information you need to learn how to trade the VEPs. for free, as in no money. Right? We give that to you. Why? Just because we want you to learn how to trade better. But there you go. There's your genius idea on how to stack more Bitcoins, or smash Bitcoins, as I say, by using Litecoin, which is a very, very great cryptocurrency, in my opinion. When people say, oh, Bitcoin is the best money, I actually disagree in many ways, and I think Litecoin is better for a lot of reasons that I've gone through in many videos on this channel, which you can certainly watch if you want. But just know that there's good, sound reasons to believe what I believe about Litecoin. I'm not just saying it out of my rear end. Bitcoin is great, relatively, but Litecoin, in many ways, is actually superior. Hi, what does this say? I'm releasing your freak off tapes. Sean Diddy Combs. Oh, that's very funny. I know you pink socked Drake. I don't know what that means, but I'm guessing something gross if you're using that as your user alias. Okay. Well, if you came on here to post some funny things, congratulations. If anybody ever sees that, maybe they'll laugh. Yeah, so if you want my opinion on why Litecoin is better, I mean, I've already said it many, many times, and I'll gladly tell you again. Right, Litecoin has all the great qualities of Bitcoin. The only real difference between Litecoin and Bitcoin is the amount of Litecoin available, which is a max supply of 84 million coins versus Bitcoin's 21 million, which just means there's 4 times as many. That's not a lot. Right? It means that it moves 4 times as fast. On what makes Litecoin or Bitcoin better, I will do that anytime. Happy to do it. Litecoin is because you can stack multiple Litecoins. The on Earth, most households cannot handle a $500 most prosperous country emergency. That to be mean to anyone. I'm saying that that's a big problem. Problem of a terror or distributed. You can say statistically, when people who don't have money get money, they tend to lose it faster than people who do have money. Hey, do you know why that is? Do you know why that is? First of all, the amount of money that people get when you say they get money, unless it makes them actually super wealthy and able to hire, or at least rich enough to hire financial planners, etc., and smart people who will help them avoid the pitfalls of getting money suddenly, right? Dollars is just $1 million. Can you think of a thing that costs $1,000 that you might buy 1,000 of fairly quickly, or things that cost $500 that you might buy 2,000 of? $1 million is not a lot of money, right? It's not a massive amount of money. Let's be real. So the reason, give a poor person 10 grand, give a poor person 100 grand, and they're more likely to lose it very quickly than somebody who has millions of dollars. Do you know why that is? The person who has millions of dollars doesn't need to spend the 100 grand. They've got their systems all locked up and set up nicely. The person who doesn't have any money, and even if they are not, they don't have the great deals available to them at $100,000. And the moment they spend $1 off that $100,000, they don't have for half $100,000 anymore. And you know they got to eat, so they're going to spend $1 off that $100,000. So anything that will give them VIP access to better rates, lower fees, things like that, can't get that. You need a lot of money for that. Which is why people who have less money end up with less money, or aren't able to acquire more money as easily. It's literally because they have to pay fees that are exorbitant. That is part of the great problem with distribution. It's not that poor people can't acquire wealth. It's that the entire system is rigged against them. And it is cruel. And it actually kills people. Literally. Poverty kills people. Yes, plenty of people live in poverty until they're very old and then they die of natural causes. But there are lots of people, and there always have been, and there probably always will be, there are lots of people who die every day because of poverty at not an old age. And Litecoin actually helps you beat that, or can help you beat that, more than Bitcoin. I don't care if the price of Bitcoin is $64,000. What poor person is buying $64,000 worth of an asset? Not happening, or they wouldn't be poor, right? You could argue. What person who's poor but might still have a little bit of something can stack $60 over a few weeks to buy a Litecoin, maybe over the course of a month? It's much more possible than $63,000, right? What is the possibility that Litecoin goes to zero? It's a possibility. Like every digital asset, it's a possibility it can go to zero. What's the probability that it will actually go up in value over the next 5 to 10 years? Well, as long as crypto is going up and Litecoin remains considered to be the silver to Bitcoin's gold, so to speak, that's a pretty good probability that it'll go up. Not trading advice, but definitely not yogurt advice either. I'm not saying people should go out and buy it, but I can't fault people who do. It makes a lot of sense to get some Litecoin and just stick it in your wallet in case it catches on. Put it in there, forget about it. Look at it again in 5 to 10 years. If it hasn't gone very far, leave it in there. Maybe leave it for your kids or whoever you're leaving your inheritance to. Even if you're poor, that might sound funny, but whatever you're going to leave behind after your days are gone, right? Just leave it in some wallet for your heirs. Maybe it'll have some value someday. And if not, maybe it'll be just valuable as a collector's item. Who knows? Maybe Litecoin will actually one day be more valuable as a collector's item than as an actual cryptocurrency. That would still have value. So that's my take on that. I really think that Litecoin is a great asset that you can use to smash a lot of Bitcoin into your wallet by increasing the rate of gains, basically, right? You could do this with any, cryptocurrency that's cheaper, obviously, where you can stack a lot of units and then increase the number of your gains as long as you know how to trade well, right? Because if you're trading Bitcoin with a tiny, tiny amount, the fees can eat all of your profits. Whereas if you're making gains on a much cheaper coin, the fees will not eat away all your profits, especially if you have multiple units of that unit, that cheaper coin. Say you're trading XRP at like 50 cents or ADA at 30 or whatever it is these days. You could stack a whole bunch of them for $100. Not millions of them, not, hundreds of thousands of them, but 100 or more. If the asset goes up 2% in a day, that's 2% for each one, right? So yes, you can say your overall stack went up 2%, but if your overall stack went up 2% and you have 100 of these units, that means you didn't make 2% on 30 cents one time. You made 2% on 30 cents 100 times. So you made it more than $1 or $2 or whatever. I'm just saying. And you don't have to use leverage for that. All right, that's going to do it for now. Happy trading. See ya.